Championship, and the green flag is up. Let's go green flag racing, and that means Alevit. Let's go fast here in Key West.
Here comes
the World
Young.
Championships.
Throw a line across them, Rich.
Yeah, they got a phenomenal start, and they're accelerating almost identically. 3 abreast at the lead. Skater in the middle.
Yep.
222 on this side.
And this Mystic.
The Mystic is flying.
Now, will the biggest boat for the Mystic be an advantage? It looks like it's laid down.
As calm as it is, probably the smallest boat has the advantage at this point.
Inverted start from the finish. That means 222 offshore has the inside line. That's tough going for everybody else because when they've had the inside line, they've been nearly unbeatable. As we go on top with the X Insurance Helicam, and the X Insurance, part of our Boots and Boats concert on Saturday afternoon. Go to raceworldoffshore.com to find out the lineup and to buy your tickets. There's 222 offshore, and the rest of the fleet coming around now, heading eastbound towards the turn at Fort Zachary Taylor. A 3-pin turn at turn 1, 2-pin turn coming back into the harbor.
Yeah, Giovanni told me the other day that he raced that boat for 5 years with Lamborghinis with Luca Fendi in Class 1, and he knows the propellers it likes.
Look at that boat running very nicely, just getting the right amount of air into Key West Harbor. A little bounce. You're going to get that chop coming back into the harbor. With the varying conditions that
it's hitting every one of them. They're all going airborne, no matter how big the boat is. That hole is vicious right there.
Well, those are ever-changing holes. The cruise ships are coming in and out of here 3 times a week. So I mean, they get filled in, they get uncovered. Here comes 222 offshore. Lap number 1. Monster Energy in second. DF Young in third. DeFalco in fourth,
right there in the Rooster Tail Pothole Heroes.
And Pothole Heroes in fifth.
I got to imagine JBS is going to be. No,
they're right here. Nope. JBS is approaching.
This is the race-winning Brands.
Yeah. So it was race-winning Brands and Hancock Claims 1-2 and VX, and then JBS coming around. They're running unopposed.
I don't think Team 25 came out for the start.
Yeah,
the British Fountain.
Check again. It looks like that might be them. Is that?
There they are, right there.
They are coming through, or entry from Britain.
They had to lease
Team 25
after they trashed that engine the other day.
Thank you for coming. Great Britain as we go back.
Here's Emcon.
Yep. Monster Energy, Class 1 438 skater built by Peter Ledden with the Mercury 1100 turbocharged engines, rudder and surface drives. Now back to the VX race with OC Racing.
No, that's race-winning Brands.
I'm sorry, race-winning Brands.
Out front, Bill McComb from Sarasota.
And
on the throttles, Ed Wendt.
Yep. Hancock Racing behind them. Final race of the day here today. We've gotten everything out and pretty much on time, for the exception of a little bit of delay starting at 12:30 because of a vessel that had trouble getting anchored up. Sitting there waiting, and we look at your leader in Class 1 continues to be Giovanni Carpatella of Italy, and Darren Nicholson from Australia in the 222 offshore.
And now JBS appears to be hurting it.
Now it looks like Hancock Claims has just pulled around. Race-winning Brands heading out to turn 2.
There was some concern that JBS might chase down the Class 1 boats, but it doesn't look that way the way they're running right now. And now back into the Monster Energy fan zone. So the Monster Energy buoys throughout the entire Key West Harbor where all the fans are watching this exciting race. And 222 offshore is back through, continuing the lead every lap here today.
He's flying.
Averaging 106.5 miles an hour on that lap. There they are as we look overhead.
DF Young's gotten by the skater of Monster, Tyler Miller.
So second now is...
Here comes DeFalco.
DF Young, there's DeFalco there in fourth, Monster Energy in third.
And Pothole Heroes.
It's been a long year for Carlos de Quesada. He won here in Key West last year with Johnny Tomlinson. The boat is being teched by the great Gary Stray. and they continue to struggle this year as they're in the back of the pack. They
This
pulled
is-
off the course on Wednesday.
One of the rare Arneson-powered fountains ever built. Mark Wilson and his son originally set this up for Bill Mazzoni. And that's just getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, the Hancock is also fine. The Skater V-bottom seems to have dropped back quite a bit.
Yeah, the race-winning brands.
Actually, here it is.
The race-winning Brands now falls back to second. We're 2 laps into their 8-lap race.
JBS is dead in turn 1.
Yep.
So they're down. And they're building a new skater.
I think it's completed.
But Jeff Stevenson
it's in
said
setup,
they're gonna turbocharge the big 16 power motors to try to prove their viability as a pleasure boat motor.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great poker run package.
Yeah.
You have more cylinders than anybody. And it's proven dependable. It's unusual for them to have issues like this. That's been one of the most dependable packages in Class 1 last year and this year in Extreme.
Team 25 with Robert Brockier from Southampton, UK. That's the Wicks boat. 42 Fountain. Kurt Brito is the driver. And here comes your overall leader once again, 222 offshore, Australia Navy. Lap number 3 at 10.
Yeah, Darren referred to the boat this morning as a sweet lady.
Yes.
So, and boy, did he get that right.
Continuing to run just a shade under 106 miles an hour.
Yeah.
DF Young, looks like they may be holding on to second, and they do. 50-foot Mystic, Hugh Fuller and Rich Wyatt. The Monster Energy 438 Skater in third. As we watch them head into the harbor turn. Off camera, DeFalco pulls through in fourth. And Pothole Heroes close astern in fifth.
They want some more water.
Yeah, it's funny with Gary Stray working on the boat. They're extracting the maximum out of it. It just doesn't seem to want to hook up and compete.
Right. And that's the boat that won here last year.
Yeah.
When Johnny and Carlos just took a very small advantage of another team's miscue in navigation and snuck to the front, and that's all they needed.
They've got a lot of sneaking to do right now.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, they got to sneak up, sneaky, and I'm not sure it's that easy. As we watch Hancock Claims again, VX boats coming through. But it's nice to see those fast B bottoms come back through the harbor for so many years. Instigator, Cooper Standard, great races. Good noise.
I met Ed Quirk yesterday, who used to run the Canopied Outer Limits Medium Master. That was a very successful boat in its time.
Looking back over the years, the way they've loosened up these V-bottoms, the way they run, it's amazing that the stability they have as loose as they are.
Yeah, Richie, you remember V-bottom couldn't go 100 miles an hour.
Oh, no, and it was considered impossible to go 100 miles an hour for them.
Yeah.
Now they're running on the back 18 inches, and just there's nothing in the water, and they get around pretty quickly.
They do. I remember on Lake Pontchartrain when Reggie Fountain busted 107, we were all just, our eyes popped out of our heads.
Yep.
Bye-bye, movie star.
That's right. All right, here comes 222 offshore one more time. We're not quite halfway into this race for Class 1, and they're checking out.
Yep, the sweet lady is performing.
Letting it drop off about a half mile an hour, 104.8. 222 offshore leading after lap number 4, still 6 to go.
Yep.
In Class 1, here comes DF Young. What a beautiful boat.
Yep.
Monster Energy, a chase.
They're making up.
Yeah,
trying to make some
they're
fun.
closing them down. the monster boat.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Tyler a couple of races ago, and
DeFalco in fourth, Pothole Heroes in fifth.
And here comes Tyler mentioned that he's waiting for the winner to start his propeller program for this boat. So look out, folks.
Yeah.
There's a lot more coming.
Because I mean, he was talking about how he'll go and meet Myrick at his lake house in the morning before work to go run props.
Oh yeah. The homework that they do rivals really only Gary Stray.
Yeah.
And I think they're outstraying Stray right now.
I'm not sure when we last saw a Throttle Man team owner come around as quickly as Tyler Miller.
Oh, wow.
It hasn't been that long. He was Rookie of the Year like 2018 or around, and the next thing you know, he's winning the national championship and now vying for back-to-back world championships in Supercat.
You know, every now and then one of them comes along. Alcombe, you know.
Yeah, but he was a driver. Gilbreth was the throttle man.
He was a driver, but I'm saying somebody comes along, Willie Diaz, whatever, who's just a cut above. And there was a movie called The Natural, all right? And we've had a handful, we've been fortunate to have a handful of them in the sport. Tyler Miller's right there. He is as good as I've ever seen.
Here comes your leader.
And though the thing...
In VX, that's Hancock Claims.
But the other thing that can be argued there is he's got a natural in the driver's spot in his boat, too.
Absolutely, but that's what naturals do. They win,
Yeah.
okay? They find a way to win. But he's a combination of really good talent and a work ethic that's just off the charts.
The tenacity.
Oh, and he wants to win. His competitive nature is just unbridled. I mean, he's going to tighten up Class 1, no doubt.
Yeah, make no mistake. You know, combine that with the passion and his acumen to gain the knowledge and put it to application. There's 222 offshore. Back around lap number 5, halfway through this course. They haven't trailed other than at the beginning of the red flag lap on Wednesday.
So let's see what's happening right. Here's D.F. Young, and right on him is the MCON.
He definitely got a little closer, but still back.
Yeah, MCON's found something out there.
Right, but now look, they're going to run inside. I don't know if Rich and Hugh are going to close it down, but
Falco continuing to hold fourth here.
Being in a 50-footer, they might want to sweep a wider turn.
And Pothole Heroes in fifth. 222 offshore, heading back out. A successful season on the UIM Class 1 series. Now coming back to Key West to...
About to put a lap on race-winning Brands.
They are going around race-winning Brands.
Look at the
off
closing
camera.
rate on between those two boats.
Just see ya.
Yep. And there is a determined competitiveness to Giovanni as well.
Oh, yes.
And let's not make any, you're talking about an acumen for this sport. Giovanni's been around the world. He's working with Peter Muddy McGrath to get this boat set up. He comes out, walks the wall, he has a sense for the conditions and how to set the boat up. Working with Luca Fendi, worked with big budgets on Class 1 Lamborghini engines. Again, you know, his knowledge is valuable, and the way they put it together in the Triple Offshore team, they all work together.
It all works. It's all working right now.
It is.
You know, and
there's you would think there might be a giant ego. There isn't a giant ego involved, and not at all.
Especially with Darren. I mean, he's very down to earth.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm on the UIM Commonwealth, the offshore commission for the UIM, and Giovanni was attending the meetings consistently. He wanted to be up to date on everything, asked really good questions, and advanced the cause of his boat, among other things.
Hancock Claims just 3 laps left in VX as we see 222 offshore coming around, and coming around, they're going to lap race-winning Brands there.
Oh, they're already here.
They've already done it.
Yep.
They're laying off just a bit, down to about 103.8 miles an hour. DF Young continuing to run in second.
Let's see what's happening between second and third. things tightening up if Tyler's got something for DF.
Rich Wyatt, Hugh Fuller.
Now they've lost ground.
Maybe having to deal with,
And they lost ground because they encountered some traffic that the skater
the race-winning Brands boat.
race-winning
Yeah,
Brands.
here comes DeFalco continuing to hold fourth. We haven't had a position change yet in Class 1. Pothole Heroes continuing to chase DeFalco. And race-winning Brands had come through and all of that, and running in second in VX. And you can finish up your thoughts on Giovanni Carpatello.
Yeah, with Giovanni, he's not only competitive in the boat, he's constantly thinking about how to gain advantages all the way through. He's talking to the race officials and UIM and so on, just trying to stay up to date on every detail, every rule, to see where they can gain some kind of advantage. But I'm also noticing, as we look back on the season, going back to Cocoa Beach, the DeFalco boat, which right now is mid-pack, has come a really long way. They were having trouble just finishing, just starting.
Well, I think that was as much just, because Chris Hanley was in the boat, and he's from Australia, right?
That was
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
That was part of it. Part of it was the boat was unused for years.
Right.
And every little gremlin and mouse hole and whatever was coming out, a little bit of corrosion here, a little torn wire there, and every little thing was breaking. And right now they've got the thing to where it's running competitively and staying together. So now we'll look for them to get better next year.
Boy, look at the way the back of the pack that struggled early in the year in Class 1 came together and everybody was competitive. And if you get Pothole Heroes back up into that in the midst, and who knows what happens with the other team that Gary Stray puts together, get it back in a livery, and quite a season in front of us next year with 222 coming back as the world champion.
Well, you have that Norwegian team.
Yes, but we've been expecting them for 3 months now. So
once again, here comes 222 offshore.
Just flying. Just beautiful.
On a Friday afternoon cruise.
The attitude, the attack angle on that boat, it's just that much better, higher in the water, less drag, just a magnificent riding boat.
And the Hancock Lane. 2 laps left for VX. We saw DF Young cruise through on the backside of.
Where's MCON?
Yeah, where is MCON?
Right
here he is.
All right.
And continue to kind of fall back just slightly. Monster Energy MCON team. Monster Energy Class 1 team, Tyler Miller and Myra Coyle in third, DeFalco now in fourth. As we watch 222 offshore head back out to turn number 1.
Yeah, Billy told me the other day he tried something that he did 15 years ago on another boat with DeFalco and it worked. You just never know where you're going to find something.
Race-winning Brands now. 2 laps to go in VX class. JPS out early in this race.
Bill McComb's son is the marketing director for the Race-Winning Brands group. And that's how the sponsorship came about, because it's Corsa, it's like Edelbrock, it's all these well-known. Dart, I think, is on there.
Yeah, performance companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. He was in the conversation regarding the acquisition of heads. There was a head shortage for these engines, for the Super Cat engines and the Mod V engines, and he's been working to solve that problem. Getting back to it, it's interesting you said the comment about a little change from 20 years ago and so on.
Yeah.
So little has happened on the big picture since probably 30 years ago in terms of true development.
Right.
It's all incremental now. It's all just fine tuning. And a lot of things have been forgotten.
Well, that's even what Tyler said to me after one race. He said, we got through the big things. Now it's all the little things.
Yeah, and that's where it is. That's where you win or lose.
Yep, there we look at the race-winning Brands continuing to run now back out to 1. We saw 222 offshore coming back into the harbor, and after this lap, they'll have 2 left to go. It's all done but the racing, but they've got to, that's the first time they went up.
Yeah.
They came through, weren't able to keep the boat stuck to the water. And here it comes, triple two offshore.
It just never gets out of shape, though. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, they're
but
just.
But when you look at the minimal water contact, that thing is just tippy-toeing on the top of the water. It's just perfectly set up.
Nice attitude as well for DF Young. They got to like their place here.
And I bet they barely talk. I bet they barely
they don't
talk.
have to.
DF Young setting up nice for a potential podium finish on the final day of racing with double the points. And Monster Energy as well. They've already been on the podium once.
I'll tell you who else has stepped up this year is Herb Stotler with this DF Young boat.
DeFalco up to third. Oh, after a second the other day. And Pothole Hero.
Something happened to the Monster Energy team.
Where's Monster? Yeah,
DeFalco, great shot, big day.
Here's Monster.
There's Monster limping along.
Coming in.
They're limping along.
Could have had a Guardian issue.
Yeah.
Possibly. They do not look like they're up on full power.
They're not at full song at all.
That's a big day for DeFalco after getting bumped out of the podium the other day. Now they can head up. And
I thought DeFalco finished second.
They got penalized.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
there was a penalty.
Yeah, well, lane infraction, I believe, is what they got called for.
Oh, yeah.
Hancock, turn one, they got in the way of MCon on the very first day there.
Hancock and DeFalco, Pothole Heroes, now running in fourth. Team Farnsworth Hancock Claims and Race Winning Brands out for their last lap. Pothole Heroes, Carlos de Quesada and Johnny Tomlinson. As we watch them head out to turn number one. So after a disappointing finish in Graydell for Billy Moore and Supercat after leading early, they've got to be happy to actually get back on the podium. Mike Falco and his team worked so hard. We'll launch that victory hole next year as we look at 222 Offshore coming down for the penultimate time here today. Looking for the white flag with just one lap to go after they come through into the Monster Energy fan zone. Look for the Monster Energy buoys here in Key West Harbor as it straddles all of the watching areas from Fort Zachary Taylor all the way down to the Harbor Hotels here right at the start finish line. Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Key West World Championships. 222 Offshore.
In the final lap, would appear, but unfortunately there we see the JBS being towed in.
1,100 horsepower twin engines, 16 power engines.
DF Young looks like to be continuing to hold second place.
Solid day, moved from third to second where they stayed. It's lap number 2. DF Young, Rich Wyatt, and Hugh Fuller. And now holding on to a solid third, DeFalco, Mike Falco, and Billy Moore in the outer limits. Pothole Heroes close enough to be a bother.
Yeah.
Watch them.
And don't you think Billy knows that Johnny's there?
Oh, absolutely. There's Hancock Claims, the Team Farnsworth boat. They'll be campaigning this and the Supercat that they just acquired, the 40 MTI next year. As they come through. Could be a checkered flag, Joey, for those guys.
I have that as well.
That didn't seem to slow them down.
No, not at all. And yeah, I wouldn't even. You might see him take another lap just for good measure. A couple laps off the pace. Our entry from Britain, Team 25, and now coming through and falling off the pace. Yep, back in 5th place now. Monster Energy. Something went bad there.
It doesn't sound bad, but it's just it has no power. Whoa! That hurt.
The Race Winning Brands takes second here today.
That was some side impact.
So here we go. This will be the day for 222 Offshore, Australian Navy. All the way from Australia, Darren Nicholson. All the way from Italy, Giovanni Carpatella, his throttle man. Peter Muddy McGrath helping his crew chief. What a squad they have. They'll win here today in Class 1 for the second straight day in the Key West World Championships. Presented by Performance Boat Center. Low average 104 miles an hour. 222 Offshore, ladies and gentlemen.
And they did what was needed to be done. They took the lead and advanced their position.
That's all they've done.
Handily.
All year has been a dominant boat.
Handily.
That's,
It's just
one of those things you watch it goes by, you just kind of laugh and shake your head like,
Yeah.
wow.
the term "sweet lady" could not be better
Yes.
applied.
D.F. Young, Rich Wyatt, and Hugh Fuller will take second today for the Southernmost Continental Championship.
And in a complimentary way, I still say Rich is an underrated throttle. Underappreciated, let's put it that way.
And Herb Stotler is underappreciated as well. I mean,
Rigger and an
he's
engine.
making that thing sing.
DeFalco will hold on and take third. And Pothole Heroes with the fourth. Monster Energy still to finish. We'll hold on to fifth. And I think once they come through, that'll be it. As Team 25 is still a couple laps off the pace. And the lone boat out there after the Monster Energy team. Most disappointing for Tyler Miller and Myra Coyle after being second first around on lap number 1, then third for most of the race, only to fall back on that 9th lap with something going.
To lose the podium.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
It makes the standings for that podium. Obviously, Offshore Australia is the class of the fleet, and they're doing their thing. But it makes the rest of the way real interesting. You're going to have DF Logistics sitting in the podium right now at second, 1 point ahead of DeFalco, and then just 7 points back of them is MCON. So we're going to have all three of them coming in within 8 points of each other for Sunday's race, fighting for the pretty much. That's might as well be all tied for second right now.
Man.
And with double points.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying might as well be all tied for second. 8 points means absolutely nothing because you only have five boats running, so you only have 4 extra points to get off of that for the extra point for a boat you beat. So in the long run, 8 points is really not going to make a whole lot of difference. Either you're going to beat them or you're not. So it really comes down to who wins that for the second, third, and fourth there.
Now, mathematically, could Pothole Heroes still get the podium?
They could. They're at one they're about 35 points back of DeFalco. So yeah, they're going to take 2 places above DeFalco. Beat. If you're doing that, then you're all of a sudden popping in there. But DeFalco's sitting second right now at 168, 137 for Pothole Heroes. I'm sorry, 134 for Pothole Heroes. So they're right there on it. It's anybody's game for the podium.
Yeah, we just watched. Yeah, we watched a couple of VX boats take victory laps, and that's it. As we look at the Cigarette Hawk pace boat, I think Monster Energy coming back around. They've got some things to sort out between now and Sunday. That boat will see it tonight, as well as all of these other boats on Duval Street for the big street party. Come on out for that. That's one heck of a show. All of Lower Duval, Green Street down to the Florida Powerboat Club's Poker Run Village. And a lot of equipment, a lot of cool stuff to see. And right now, waiting 222 Offshore to grab their checkered flag here in Class 1, a second straight victory for them here today. So again, we'll look to see out on Duval Street tonight for the incredible street party. Your top 3 boats here today: 222 Offshore in the first spot, DF Young in second, and DeFalco top 3 in Class 1. Team Farnsworth Hancock Claims your winner in VX. Race Winning Brands in second, Team 25 in third, and just a lap out there for JBS Racing today in the extreme class.
So now the big conundrum is Key West. And Key West is known for breaking hearts.
Of course.
So at this point in time, we have a dominant boat after 2 days.
2 of them.
And I don't know how many times I've seen the dominant boat after 2 days with a broken heart on Sunday afternoon.
Actually 3, because you got Jackhammer, you got 222, and you have MCON, Monster Energy, and Supercat.
And you know, and you bring up.
I sometimes think maybe that's not where you want to be.
Well, there's a few of them that are creeping up there too. You know, you got Billy and Jay sitting in the WHM in podium status right now, sitting in third place, despite a third place and a fifth place finish. And if anybody knows how to break hearts, it's the WHM team.
Absolutely.
And MCon, if I'm Myrick and Tyler, I'll admit, I'm looking at them going, God, they're that close to me?
Yeah.
They're sitting that good again. It's not really as close as you would think as the rest of the battle, but some of these teams, like you said, with today's Offshore Australia 222, they're well out in front of the point standings. So is MCon because what happened to Graydell today. That changes a lot of things in that retrospective. So really, it's MCon well out in front in the battle for the rest of the podium in some of these classes here. But the Jackhammer is one of those ones that cannot sit back and just relax because Northwing is creeping. And the Hulk, they've been heartbroken so many times. Maybe it changes the name. Maybe it changes their luck this time around, and they don't get the heartbreak and break somebody else's heart this time around. So it'll be really interesting. You're right. Some of these could really turn out and swing a crazy way come Sunday with double points.
And that's why Key West is such a challenge. It is to win a single race. You set up for a certain course. You get out there, you do your thing. But to hit the same course 3 times in a row, changing weather conditions, it's not easy. I don't care how good you are. It's not easy. And if anybody can dominate 1, 2, 3, they'll be the exception rather than the rule.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,